Hello. How are y'all doing? Yes, I'm back from the beach. Um, no, I have not done any readings yet, as you see. But, kind of wanted to get on here and do a small video on breaking free and how much better you feel. Um, once the mood swings subside, once you can start wrapping your head around the mind effery and the paranoia that a lot of people who have been abused, uh, especially by narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, mercenaries from hell, once you're out of that, and yeah, I pretty much didn't even put makeup on. I kind of did my hair, but it took me forever. Either way, one of the things that I have found is with the mood swings that, and I'm talking about my own personal life. I don't know how you guys have dealt with this, but you know, I could get a moment of clarity and be grateful and feel gratitude, and the paranoia lifts a little bit after being subjugated to the mind effery. And then here's the thing that I've noticed. Um, the magnetic pull back, when you cut that off and go no contact. And this is just stuff I'm throwing out there. I want your feedback from this community. And I've talked to a few other people, within the community. And, there was one person I talked one-on-one with a little bit about my story. But one of the things I don't do on here is, or I try not to, I will not, I refuse to tear down anybody else within the community. And the reason why, yes, I will be leery. Yes, I will watch patterns. Yes, if I see that you're a narcissist, or I get comments that aren't of a caring, loving nature, don't even if you disagree, if you just say, well, I kind of disagree with this, and then give your point of view of why. I look at things from all sides. I don't cast judgment on other people's views. I just don't. But I can only give you what I personally experienced myself, what I saw my friends go through. I can kind of generate that in a little bit, because it seems to me like myself and some of my friends have been exactly through the same pattern. How you will know you're dealing with a narcissist. One of the first things I talked about the other day was, after you spend a day or two with them, 3 days, they start putting this shroud over your brain and the way you think. It's like a hypnosis. They hypnotize you with their love bombing. They know exactly what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time, probably their whole damn life. They tell on themselves. They will tell you they're not a good person. They know they're not. Either way, my topic for the day that I kind of wanted, which I could probably do one on all three. But I'm going to throw it together, put it together, because it's kind of been the healing ongoing theme for me for over the last 90 days. One of the things I've noticed is those first 90 days, you will go through a grieving process where you still feel the energy of that person. How they do it, I don't know. I'm assuming it's spiritual. The only way someone can have that kind of control over your emotions and you're not even around them for months, yet you still are you can't get the whole situation out of your mind, and it's not even that you care about them anymore. It's bizarre. As if it's spiritual. That's the only thing I can think. And the act of intimacy is where the magnet gets put in you. That coming together and mixing of energies. Basically sleeping with the devil. One of hell's mercenaries. You know, and the longer you stay in it, like, I feel pity for people who have been married to these people for 20, 30 years. And they've been going through these cycles for 20, 30 years. I can't even imagine the mind effery. Like, I've had different narcissists come in and out of my life. But I didn't learn from them. So, this last one, he was as malignant and overt as they come. However, he was still insidious. And I should have been aware. The other ones were real covert. I just thought that I wasn't good enough for the other, you know. You go through that whole why am I not good enough? This last one, he knew I was too good for him. And I'm not saying that to freaking throw myself like a bone or anything. He told me he would only pull me down. Yet, when I confronted him on things, he was a very, very much so a commitment phobe. He didn't want a relationship. He didn't want to be held responsible or accountable for anything. His actions, he felt like he could treat anybody the way that he wanted, sleep around probably. I don't know. With him, we didn't live together, thank frickin' God. I pity anybody who, like his ex, that had to live with him. I've seen the aftermath of his exes. I don't know how they did it. However, they're ended up, pretty sure they were codependent, but they, you know, if you take a good look and at the way, if you take a good look at their exes, you know, that should be a telltale sign for you. I'm sitting there thinking, these chicks are hot messes. You know, and one of his exes is a nurse. And she has like zero compassion, like emotional response now. Like, the reason I know that is because I found out something through the grapevine, and I was asked a question because this person's daughter was in a car accident, and one of the police officers who responded to the accident knew that I lived in the same town that the daughter went to school at. She went to school with my daughter. So they know that I know kids. They know that, you know, my house is always, when my daughter was here, which I got her out of this school district because it's a long story. I don't need to go into that. Either way, what had happened was this woman, his ex daughter, was in a car accident. And one of the officers who arrived on scene had called me and said, this name seems fake. Is this a real name? And I'm like, yeah, that's a real girl. You know, that's a real person. It's her name, yes. And he had asked me how to get a hold of her mom because she was in a car accident. Well, he ended up getting a hold of the dad, and they ended up calling the young girl's mom, who was also my ex's ex. The one who really screwed. When she was done with the ex, she ended up screwing his friends. And he didn't forget that. He's still, to this day, trying to get her back. But she really, he did a number on her, and the reason I know why, because she never called she never took her daughter to go get checked at the hospital. When the cop told her her daughter was in an accident, she was like, oh, okay. Straight faced, no emotion, none. And the next day, the police officer had called her back and said, did you ever take her to the emergency room? Is she okay? She had said, no, I just kept an eye on her. I'm a nurse. What mother would do that? However, from what I know, from witnessing another ex of his, she's a friggin' hot mess. Like, anytime she would see me and that narcissist out, like, you could tell, like, she was just, like, trying to get his attention any way she could. You know, wanting to buy him drinks. Just all kinds of stuff. Trying to talk to him, staring at me, staring at him. Anytime she had a reason to talk to him, she would. So there was still that she doesn't understand the magnetic pull. I do. I knew what I was going to experience once I went no contact. I knew that it's like mourning a death. However, you're mourning someone who's living. Or something that's living. I can't even really know. Mercenary from hell that's living. But when you're intimate with these people and you open up yourself emotionally and you allow them to come into your space and you allow them to take effect, usually happens through sex, there is an injection that takes place that completely goes right to your emotional centers, whether it's in your sacral area or your heart. Sometimes they have a hook in both. And even, yeah. Because I've heard from multiple people also, and I've noticed it with me, that their narcissist was so good in bed that, and sometimes they're not even good, but they only long for that person to be intimate with. Why? There's, like I said in other videos, there's 6 billion people on this planet. Why would you, after you've gone through that or have saw the cycles and have been abused, why would you want to continue to only be with that person who doesn't love you? And they show you this in so many ways. I don't watch, or should I say, I don't listen and watch text messages anymore. None. I watch actions. You'll know them by their fruit. Whether someone really cares about you or not. You'll know who has your back. You'll know. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about is the extreme paranoia and kind of like the stage. You go no contact, like they discard you, and or you had enough and you pretty much just like done, discard them, and you start this no contact phase. That magnet that's within your emotional centers don't just leave, that they put there. They put their emotional DNA in you. And so when they're, and you almost think of it like telepathy, like You can feel them feeling, you can feel them thinking about you. You can feel it. You know it. Not to mention the paranoia of you knowing that they're thinking about you and what are they going to do. They want you to be paranoid. Like I said, there's hooks within your emotional system. And I'm talking from my own experience. I can't, and just from hearing from other people, from what I've noticed is people get deceived and think that if I only want this person, or I really love somebody, that I'm only going to want them. I got to prove to them I don't want anyone else. When you have that mind frame going for a while, for you to actually slip out of that mind frame and go into healing, and you have to change your mindset and your way of thinking to a more proactive of yourself, and you start pulling back, those narcissists feel it. They do, because they injected that into your, when your center lights up and you start healing. That's why, when I'm telling you, when you start feeling better and you start getting back on that bull and start riding this thing out and start feeling better, they hoover, because they know you're getting better. The narcissist that I just dealt with, absolutely. And I know people say, well, don't break no contact. No, it's not that I want anything to do with this person ever again, but I do want them to know I know what you are, and you're not going to get away with it with me. Like I said, I only need to spend a little bit of time. I can tell the difference. That paranoia that they put in you, like I said, is like a trigger for them as well. They know what they did. They know that they put you in isolation. They know what they had talked to you about. Mine, no wait, that narcissist actually put the paranoia in me by saying he would stalk me. Well, the one way he could probably stalk me on YouTube. I really don't care. Stalk away. Watch me flourish. Watch me heal over your ass and help other people. It's what I'm called to do as a person. I'm not called to live in desperation and fear and anger and resentment like them. I wasn't like that before this person. I'm not going to be like that now. However, I've noticed that codependents seem to end up bitter and angry and resentful. And we're allowed to feel those emotions. Because I'm bitter and angry and resentful at what happened to me. However, I refuse to sit in that. Because that only, me hoping that something bad happens to them, is me ruminating and thinking about them. You want to know what? I've noticed over the years I get a front row seat usually. And it's not that I gloat in it. And I usually do feel bad for what happens. However, they make their own bed. They need to lie in their own shit. And I'm going to speak my truth. Someone ever asked me about what I've been through, you're damn straight I'm coming forward with my story, and I'm going to do it all the time. But I want to come forward with a story of victory in this whole thing. That they didn't kill me. They didn't break me. They didn't cause me to become bitter and stay paranoid and isolated. Know what they caused me to do? Is get up off my ass and start seeking the reasons behind this thing. A more wider spread view of why certain people seems to be a magnet for these creatures of hell. It's the only way I can put it. And here's the thing, when it comes to this community, the enemy will destroy it from within. They will want you to disagree over trivial things. Oh, well, that didn't happen to me, so that must not be real. Or that didn't happen this way for me, so that can't be, you couldn't have been dealing with the same thing I did. Wrong. We're all different. We all have our own unique experiences. To add to this, I'm not going to bash other people, but I'm not going to allow good people within this community to come under attack either. So if I see you attacking people, I'm going to call you on your shit. Publicly. If you've been attacked within this community, and it's because you're doing something good for a reason, and or you're being exposed. Because I believe that there's people who come from within, from within, and they try to cut down other people who are victimized. And they're coming up the other side, and they're getting other revelation, and they're doing things differently than what the next person does. We are not carbon copies of one another. Please get that. We are all called to our own group of people to, help. We have our own people to help. And that's why I'm here. Because my message might not be for the super religious people who are only thinking one way. Because I'm telling you, what I've found and what has happened to me, a lot of people look at it as New Age. I love Jesus so much. He's my best friend. I'm going to do a video on religion and where I stand. And whether or not you like it or not, it's your choice. I'm not called to be a carbon copy. Hi, baby. I'm not called to be a carbon copy, and neither are you. Don't copy. The first way you can tell somebody's a phony and a fraud is if they can't be authentic. I'm sorry. I really could care less whether or not I'm highly whatever. I'm not looking for position. I'm looking to help people. I'm looking to touch and reach as many people as possible with my story, what happened to me, how I know my experience is very real. Either way, the narc magnet, you need to remove that. The first 90 days are going to be the hardest. But if you allow the healing to take place, if you allow the spirit to come in and show you, if you ask and you shall receive. If you ask, you're going to get it. Your words are so powerful. When you start speaking it out, and being like, you want to know what? I'm getting healed from this. I'm not going back to that. Guess what? Your emotions begin to follow. Your thoughts begin to follow. But it usually takes you speaking it out of your mouth. And then guess what? Your emotions start to line up and your thought pattern starts to change. That you're not a slave to this piece of shit no more. And their diabolical bullshit. their insidious magnet gets taken off. I legit felt it. I felt that being removed. However, it tried to come back, and I felt that too. I am extremely sensitive to energy. Whether it's positive or negative, I can tell the difference in the tone of a room. I can. I just can. And I can tell when someone's authentic, and I can tell when someone's fake. Here's the thing for you religious folks out there. Yes, God speaks to me. I get most of my stuff, I get straight from source. I get straight from spirit. Yes, I use tarot cards. You want to know why? Because I was told to. Because there's people within that community who feel ostracized by the church and need healing. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm telling you, I would much rather ask for forgiveness from God later than permission from you if I'm doing the wrong thing. Hey, it's in the fruit. You'll know them by their love. It's in the fruit. People are looking for something real. And how dare we ever shun somebody because they're not doing the typical thing that most people should do. Or that we think. Trust me, I'm not using Ouija boards. No. I don't. My energy is on my cards. My energy. My spiritual awareness and my angels that God has released over my life for protection are on those cards. And they're a visual for people who need faith. You know, it's sounding the trumpet time, people, because we are living in a heightened state right now where evil is at an all-time high. So guess what God has to do? He has to bring those people who are anointed, their gifts to the forefront and heighten them even more so we can battle and fight. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We don't. Your narcissist or whoever hurt you, that's their shell that you see. Their spirit is what you're wrestling against. And if it's polluted with evil, that's what you're dealing with. That's what I was dealing with. Someone who tried to kill and destroy me. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jameson. Someone who tried to kill and destroy me, you know, and it wasn't just one. It was one right after the other. It was a revolving door of narcs. And I'm thinking, how in the hell am I drawing these evil people to me? It was the magnet. The fact that my light shines very bright. When I got anointed and when I got commissioned by the Holy Spirit to do what I'm called to do, no matter what it looked like, I never in a million years would have ever thought I would be reading tarot cards. Ever. That wasn't what I aspired to. I have degrees and shit. But you want to know what? I'm going to listen to my intuition and I'm going to listen to what God tells me to do. Because my community of people deserve to hear the truth. And need to know that there's hope. No matter what situation they're in. So you want to know what? If God needs to use me as a sounding board and a visual with cards to help people, that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't make me a witch. Doesn't make me a Wiccan. It doesn't make me New Age. It makes me a Christian who loves God and is following the path that he has set before me. He sets before everybody a path. He does. What path are you? Who would you rather please? You want to know what? Like I said, I'd much rather ask for forgiveness from God than permission from man to do what I do. God's tied so many things up in a nice little bow for me. About astrology, astronomy. Jesus would constantly say, you'll know when I return, watch the stars. Well, that's one of the signs, watch the stars. Your young boys and young kids will prophesy the coming of the end. My daughter just did that the other week. She feels it. My gifts have skyrocketed, and if I don't use them, I will be held accountable. Not you, not anyone else. You know, like I said, judge not lest you be judged. I don't give a shit what anybody else is doing on YouTube. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you're fake and phony and this and that. No, I'll know you by your fruit. What fruit you got? And it doesn't mean subscriber rating either. What's your fruit? Where's your love scale? Do I love these people who hurt me? Hell no. Do I feel bad for them? Oh my God, yes. To the point where the other day in the car, I was talking to my friend on the way home, and I said, I don't understand why I was chosen to walk on the light side, and there's so many people in the dark and doing these horrendous things, and they don't even realize what they're doing. Why was I chosen to be on? I'm grateful that I am, but I feel bad for the fact that there's so many people who are just evil, and they don't even realize it. Why? Like, why me? Like, I'm happy because I surrendered myself, but that's probably one question that I'll never have answered it until I get my one-on-one time. Maybe I will have it answered. I don't know. Like, that's a question that I have. Why me and why not this person? I get it, free will and all that. We have a choice to love. We have a choice to hate. But sometimes when people are programmed with childhood abuse, and like I feel bad for these people because a lot of them were abused in childhood. Doesn't give them a reason to abuse in adulthood. Doesn't excuse their actions. But I can at least see why. You want to know what? So was I. So that really doesn't give them a reason to excuse their actions. I still chose to open my heart emotionally and love people. It was a choice. Just like this no contact thing, this has been the most growing experience of my life. And dipping into, actually it was taking a leap of faith and stepping out and doing the readings and stuff. And my subscribers, I love you guys. I really do. And if you guys ever need anything, please call me or email me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. If you've been through this similar situation where you've been hurt and destroyed, or you feel like, trust me, the worst part right before your breakthrough is it feels the worst, like you're gonna die. And then boom, breakthrough comes. And it's not always how you think. And it's gradual over the days. Like, you start feeling better and you start getting clarity on what really happened. And you even get to the point where, guess what? You didn't affect me like you thought you would have. You might have done that to your exes. I'm not them. Not at all. You messed with the wrong empath. Because not only, I'm going to say this, not only did my capacity for my heart to expand more open, but now I'm educated and through experience and realize what the hell this shit is for the last, my whole life of what it, because there was never, I never could understand like the Sabbath, like it's jarring and it doesn't make sense, but now it does. And yes, I believe it's spiritual. Yes, I believe it's evil. But like I said, you will know people by their ability to love. We do have a right to be pissed. And trust me when I say this. The only person or the only thing that I lob insults at is the narcissist. Or give any kind of underlying message is to the narcissist in my life. I don't have anything bad to say about anybody else. I don't want to talk about people the way they look, or that's just rude and inconsiderate. I could care less how someone looks. I really don't. I got better things to worry about, and so do you. Either way, we're a community of people who have gone through hell. And we need to make sure that we're doing what's best for us and learning to love us. Because guess who lives in us? You guessed it, spirit. When we turn on our own selves, because the narcissist has turned on us, and then we're basically taking on their traits of self-hatred. I don't want to be nothing like them. Actually, I want to be the complete opposite. But you damn straight, I have a right to be angry and speak out about what happened to me. And warn other people what they're getting into. And if they don't like it, they say, oh, well, you're a narcissist because you're smear. Fuck you. Screw you. You'll figure it out. And guess what? When you point the finger at somebody, you got 3 more pointing back at you. So if we're all in this community together and we're all here to heal, you worry about your subscribers and don't worry about what other YouTubers are doing. If you're insulting other YouTubers for no reason because you're jealous that their channel's growing, you got issues. You got your own issues to deal with. Like I said, I could care less if I have 5 subscribers that I touch in a positive way or I have 240 some. I don't care. My channel is growing. It's slow, but I don't, however it comes, it comes. I'm supposed to touch who is on my channel. And my channel is not monetized yet. Obviously, I don't have near as many subscribers to get it monetized. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I do this because I care about society. I'm a sociology major, for Pete's sakes. This is why. When I see shit happening within society, and good people getting destroyed from these creatures, it's time to rise up and fight that, not fight each other. Like I said, I hear any of you talk shit, I'm calling you out. If you're lobbing insults at the narcissist, I understand that. If you're lobbing insults at other people who are trying to help people, I have an issue with that. If you're on here just bitter and angry at what your narcissist did, you're not helping anybody else. You're just teaching people to be angry. Which is why I did my first few videos on narcissism. I heard in my spirit, pull back, get into the tarot. That's where you're going to help people for now. You pull back on that. Because I was going through these massive mood swings and emotional things that it just wasn't productive for my own healing to be giving him any more supply. I said what I had to say on a few of them, and I don't regret a damn thing I said. I will say it over and over again. I don't give a shit. I will lob insults at the narcissist, at that evil thing. But I'm not going to do it to just anybody. That's not me. Like, I want everybody to grow and love each other and succeed in life and not be hindered anymore by these freaking creatures. Thank God for the community of YouTube, because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know nothing. So, please, you know, I saw stuff, and it breaks my heart, because the way the enemy wants to kill and destroy a movement is from within the movement. And honestly, this movement is directed and targeted straight at evil. You bet your bottom dollar he's going to try to infiltrate this community of survivors to re-victimize them. Well, I'm not going to stand for it. If you have anything or insults to me, guess what? I don't give a shit. I got thick skin thanks to that narcissist. Doesn't hurt my feelings how you feel one way or the other. You don't like it? You don't like it if I do tarot? Then that's up to you. Doesn't mean I am any less of a Christian. Like I said, I can go sit in my garage. It doesn't make me a car. It's my actions and the way I love people and the way I project myself. And it's the willingness of when to sacrifice my story. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, they didn't recognize Jesus when he came in, born in a manger. God tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. I hear, I see, I feel other people's pain. I've given testimony on how I came into this thing. And I really believe, like, there's just an anointed group of people who've been massively victimized, whether at work. That happened to me. Whether in interpersonal relationships, friendships, in the church body. You know, and once that bitterness takes root, man, it's hard to get it out. So, that's pretty much my video. And I ended up going on another rant. But, like, when I get stuff in my spirit, like, I want to talk. So, like I said, we need to love each other and help each other. We're not in a competition with one another, YouTubers. We're not. Whether you want to make it a competition, you go right ahead. I'm not about that. I'm about helping people. So, that's pretty much me. And like I said, my shit's not monetized. I do have a donation button. You're more than welcome to donate. If you would like a personal reading or anything like that, That's fine. Just email me at no, I'm sorry. I really should get a Blue Flame integration email, but I don't have that. It's beautifulmind4275 at gmail.com. Feel free. Feel free to email me. You have questions, thoughts, comments. However, you start attacking me, expect to be exposed. Because I've heard people attacking other people within this community, and we're here to help people. That's it. Right where they're at. However, I'm also not gonna allow victims to stay in a victimized state and stay in a codependent state either. I'm gonna expect people, when I give them information, at one point, to get off their ass and do the healing. We can't stay in victim mode forever. We can't. Yes, we were victims of narcissistic abuse. Yes, we went through horrendous bullshit. But you want to know what? The way to get over it is to get moving. And I know it's hard. I just spent 3 months in bed. I know. I know it's hard. However, you got to take it step by step, and recognize that you are getting better every day. And usually the darkest is right before the dawn. And when that dawning starts coming up and you start seeing, oh my gosh, like I'm getting clarity. I'm getting informational downloads from God now. Like I can hear God speaking to me. I hear source, and you're getting stronger every day. Man, when that happens, it's such a confirmation that you won. You won. So I know this video was like for live video, and I like I said, I really should probably be doing stuff not live, but my phone sucks. I got to get back to work too. A lot of my storage is gone on my phone. Oh well. Eventually, I'll get proper stuff. But I only have so many subscribers, and yeah, I kind of do a very how do I want to, professional. I do a non-professional way. I'm not carbon copy. I'm not trying to be like this person or that person and mimic this person, and I'm myself. I'm unique in myself in the way I talk, and I'm unique in my perspectives as well, just like everybody else is. And thank God we have different perspectives that we can all glean from to help our own healing. It's great. So if somebody else is talking about something that you haven't quite experienced, don't pass judgment. Email that person, ask them. Don't leave nasty comments. If you're like, oh, well, I don't understand, like, go right ahead and email them. You don't have to be slandering people online. It's not cool. And I won't stand for it if I see it happen to anybody that I care about or who has helped me. I can usually tell what's what. Either way, I'll let y'all go. At one point, we gotta get off our ass and heal. I give y'all 90 days. I give you 90 days to be in victim mode, and then it's time to get off your ass. Because we don't have time anymore. Time is run out. It's time to get your armor on and start fighting this thing. Time is not on our side for this. It's not on, and it's really not on the narcissist side either. But the enemy knows that their time is short, and that the anointed ones, the little anointed ones, are rising up. So, y'all have a great day. I love you. I do. Like I said, I speak truth. Try to do it with a loving attitude. Sometimes that's impossible when you have to. I won't play referee. Not doing it. That's a distraction. I'm not allowing the narcissist distract me long enough. Time to move forward in the healing, man. Y'all need to do the same. So, that's pretty much what I have to say for today. If anyone else wants to get a hold of me, you feel free. I get off on tangents and I apologize, but there's so much about this topic that I'm just like. Plus, like I said, I want to get my tarot readings out. I'm still thinking about starting a new channel just for my narcissist stuff. Because I'm keeping BFI for my tarot. Most of my people who come on here are my tarot people. So, who like my reading. Because you want to know I'm speaking truth to them and they know it. I don't even need cards most of the time. I just have to know the energy. Either way, you guys have a good day. I love you. Take it easy.